Shannon Purser is known for her role as Barb on Stranger Things, but since then she also got a role in Riverdale and landed the main role in Sierra Burgess Is A Loser. This young Hollywood star is definitely keeping busy, but wait until you hear about the #1 thing that makes her so incredibly brave and inspirational. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to never miss another video, and be sure to check out our community section for even more fun. Now let's check out some facts about Shannon Purser. Her first paid role was Stranger Things. Shannon's acting CV is pretty impressive for someone whose first role was on Stranger Things.
Nance, seriously? He invited you to his house.
Barb's just a supportive role, but the impact Shannon created with her character was unreal. She also says it's pretty surreal to see a supportive role take off so massively. What can we say? Barb really was one of the most relatable characters on Stranger Things, and it's amazing to see Shannon's career take off the way it did. It's an inspiration for all aspiring actresses. Sometimes it really just takes one role and your life changes forever. Riverdale. Her role as Barb was so powerful and iconic, it also landed her another role on another popular TV show.
This really bad thing is happening, and there's nothing that I can do to stop it.
Shannon didn't really know much about the Archie comics or Riverdale before the role, but yet again she managed to portray a fun favorite character. Shannon's also been teasing what Ethel Muggs will look like in Season 3 of the show, and according to her, we're in for quite a dark surprise. She said that Season 3 will feature a lot more of Ethel, and we have no doubt it's because of Shannon's ability to make just about any character a fan fave. Nominated for a Primetime Emmy. Imagine having your very first role and getting nominated for a Primetime Emmy for it. Barb has had such an impact on Stranger Things that all of Hollywood started paying attention to Shannon. How cool is that? She was nominated in 2017 as an outstanding guest actress in a drama series, specifically for episode Holly Jolly. Although she didn't win, it just once again shows that her acting talent really does speak for itself. You never know when your acting role will become a huge inspiration. Shannon definitely didn't expect that any of her roles would be so well received. She's completely inspirational. Seriously, if you check out any of Shannon's interviews, you'll notice that this beautiful lady also has an incredibly beautiful mind. She's a fantastic role model and a total inspiration for young Hollywood. In one of her interviews, she said that people easily write off teenagers and millennials and think of them as completely shallow. She also outlined the importance of knowing that being a teenager is actually really hard and that people totally underestimate how strong they are for dealing with so many emotions at once. She loves talking about real-life situations and making people around her aware of the importance of kindness and compassion. Amazing social media accounts. If you're not yet following Shannon on social media, you really should. She's extremely active on Instagram, but Twitter is the platform where you can find exactly how she feels and what she thinks about various situations. She's a serious mental health advocate, but her tweets also bring tons of humor. You really need to check it out. We have a feeling she'll get totally booked out and forget about Twitter in a few years, so make sure you enjoy her tweets while you're still getting a decent amount of them. She's a total hashtag inspiration. People know her as Barb. Shannon laughed when she said no one really knows her real name. A ton of people actually call her Barb. She said she had directors on new projects who called her Barb, and apparently even her mom accidentally used the wrong name. How crazy is that? She said that she answers to Barb most of the time, but sometimes she waits for them to realize their mistake. And what's even crazier is that people actually think Barb's her real name. You can't blame them. Even Shannon herself says that Barb is the totally relatable patron saint of the outcast. She's surprised by her own fame. It's rare that an actress will audition for a single role and have that role massively take off. But with the rise of Netflix series and reboots, we're seeing this happen more and more. Still, Shannon was very surprised by her own fame, which is completely normal considering she appeared in plenty of supporting roles that weren't meant to really take off. She said it herself that she never expected this to happen, and no one really knew whether or not Stranger Things would become popular. To be fair, you usually can never tell until you actually release your work. Inspired by 80s fashion? We all know Barb's a fan of the 80s fashion, but how does Savannah feel about it? She said that she clearly remembers first trying out Barb's wardrobe and being totally shocked that people would actually wear that in the 80s. Times definitely have changed, haven't they? Since then, she realized that she could put a modern spin on a lot of Barb's wardrobe and that every piece Barb has worn is actually really cute. She also said that the wardrobe department really wanted to make sure they give Barb the authentic 80s look and feel, and by the looks of it, they got it right. But do you think we'll ever see Shannon, wear 80s clothing outside of her role? She used to work at a movie theater. When fame unexpectedly hits you, you have to quit whatever part-time job you're working at, especially if you're dealing with public. Shannon said that she used to work at a movie theater, and she even did it when Stranger Things first debuted. Of course, as an actor, you never know whether or not your show will be popular, so a lot of actors do indeed have part-time jobs. But Shannon had to quit her movie theater job when people started recognizing her, and it completely disrupted her day-to-day responsibilities. She's truly living her best life now, isn't she? She's a huge science fiction fan. One reason why Shannon accepted her role in Stranger Things is because she fell in love with the little glimpses of the story she managed to see when she first read the script. She didn't get the full story until after her audition, but because she's a huge science fiction fan, she fell in love with the paper version of the series. She also said that she loves movies from the 80s, so seeing a combination of both in a single project really made her totally fall in love with Stranger Things. And based on the amount of international fans Stranger Things has, she wasn't the only one. She picked up TV acting pretty quickly. Shannon is actually used to theater acting, so before she had her first TV debut, she spent a lot of time acting in theater. But still, acting in front of TV cameras is actually pretty different from acting on stage, but luckily for her, her theater experience is the reason why she was able to pick up TV roles so quickly and really deliver her best. Besides, not acting live basically allowed her to do a retake and correct her mistakes. But being a theater actress was definitely a wonderful advantage to her career, and it definitely paid off. She's an open book. Shannon has many endearing qualities that will make you fall in love with her, but one of the biggest is without a doubt the fact that she's pretty much an open book. She doesn't hold back her feelings, and she's a huge advocate when it comes to mental health. You can already see that from her social media posts, but she's also no stranger to speaking about mental health in her interviews. Seeing our idols go through some of the same mental struggles as ourselves is extremely important, and Shannon is definitely aware that she can make a positive impact by sharing her own personal struggles. We love her. She's from Atlanta. And so is Stranger Things. Shannon was raised in Atlanta, and in one of her interviews, she talked about how that had an advantage with her role as Barb. She was also in her senior year of high school, which contributed to being able to portray a relatable character. As this was her first role, living in Atlanta was definitely an advantage, as she got to come home from work at the end of the day and talk about her job to her parents. That way, the transition into the world of Hollywood wasn't as stressful and intense. Sounds like a balance most young actors could only dream of. She didn't know what would happen to Barb. If you haven't watched Stranger Things just yet, skip ahead to a couple of seconds of this video to avoid any spoilers, because we're about to tell you what happens to Barb. Seriously, skip ahead. 3, 2, 1. Now! Barb dies. You probably knew that, unless you're a rebel and you haven't clicked away. In that case, sorry, but we warned you. And as it turns out, none of the cast knew about this because they hadn't received the scripts. Shannon says that the actual spoiler came from one of her makeup artists, who said that they'll have to test death makeup on her because she's not going to make it. As a character, of course. She loves her coworkers. Hollywood used to be full of drama between cast members. They didn't like each other. There were hookups, and sometimes the drama carried on for years. But young Hollywood is setting a new friendship trend, and we're totally here for it. Shannon admitted that she loves every single member of the cast from both Stranger Things and Riverdale. She looks like she's very fun to be around, so we have no doubt that everyone loves her too. Do you prefer Hollywood drama or seeing people get along? Let us know in the comments. The audition process for Stranger Things was easy. Everyone always wonders what auditions look like, but in Shannon's case, it was actually pretty easy. She said that she was quite familiar with auditions because of her previous experience in theater, but she always got close calls and never really booked anything until Stranger Things came along. She got an email from the show asking her for an audition tape. She sent it in and got a response back that they wanted her to come in and read for the Duffer Brothers. They emailed her the very same day and told her she got the parts, and the rest is history. She has amazing life philosophies. Shannon might be young, but she already holds a lot of wisdom. She realized the importance of being relatable, and she makes sure she conveys that in every single role she has. She said that working on Stranger Things was her chance to show everyone what she can do.
What are we doing here? His house is 3 blocks away. We can't park in the driveway.
And put her heart, soul, and passion into her character. She has gratitude and always is thankful for her experiences. It's those philosophies that allow her to keep on winning and really bringing every single role to life. And we have a feeling that her role in Sierra Burgess Is A Loser will be just as iconic as any other because of that. She plays piano. Many Hollywood stars have multiple talents that enable them to stand out from the crowd, and Shannon is no exception. Did you know that she can actually play piano? She did a cover of one of Lord's songs on Instagram, and it was actually amazing. We love an actress who's also a triple threat, and from what it looks like, Shannon could definitely sing a song or two. What do you think? Doesn't this show off her amazing talent for performing even more? We have a feeling we'll be seeing her in at least one musical, and we already can't wait. Her dream role is in ELEANOR and PARR. It pretty much looks like the sky's the limit for Shannon. But if she could land any Hollywood role, what would it be? She said that she'd absolutely love to play ELEANOR in a book called ELEANOR and PARR from Rainbow Rowell. Things got exciting when DreamWorks picked up the rights, but ended up giving them back to the author, which means that the production deal fell through. She said that ELEANOR pretty much looks like her, and she absolutely loves the story. You never know, maybe someone will give the book and Shannon a chance. She's there for teens that struggle with their sexualities. We know that Shannon is absolutely inspiring and she's a huge mental health advocate. But in August 2018, Shannon came out as a bisexual and announced that she's there for those who feel alone. We told you she's the sweetest. She said that she would love to get society to the point where sexuality doesn't matter. But because that's not the case, she wants to make sure her fans know that they're allowed to love whoever they want. She also revealed that her fans frequently contact her and she helps them open up about their own sexuality. She really is a complete inspiration. And that's it for our video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.